Hello, EA How To community. My name is Ross, and I've been finally bullied into creating this video. What is it? It's a OneNote video, something I've seen a lot of people ask about, and Alicia has been banging on about this for years and years. So here we go. Now, this video is aimed at beginners, but if you're a seasoned professional, stick around. I've tried very hard to find some tricks that not many people might know about. Now, tell me this, does your screen still look like this? You have hundreds of sticky notes on your desktop and it's completely cluttering your screen. Or perhaps you're even more old school and you have a folder with all the text notes sitting neatly in a folder somewhere. Stop that. Stop doing this right now. There is a better, more efficient way, and it's called OneNote. So what is OneNote? In its most essential form, it's just a virtual pen and paper that you can take with you anywhere. Because it lives in the cloud, and that means you can have it on your laptop, you can have it on your phone, you can have it on your personal, your work device, it all syncs. You can make a note on one device and that note will instantly appear on another device wherever you are signed in. That's it. Any questions? No, I'm just kidding. So what can you do with OneNote? It's very versatile, but first I should mention that if you're on a Windows machine, sometimes you have two different versions of OneNote. So if you search for one, you might get OneNote for Windows 10 and just OneNote. I always like to use the Windows 10 version. It's just a much nicer interface and it's easier to navigate. So what does it do? So it's the left panel. It's your navigational menu. This is how you find your notes. The leftmost section here, it's categories, right? So you can have notes for different things, and inside them you have nested pages. So think of it as you have more than one notepad. So you have a notepad for office, you have a notepad for personal life, you have a notepad for shopping ideas, you have a notepad for I'm running out of things to say. You get the idea. So this section is where you create a category, and this section is where you fill that category with pages. All clear so far? Great. So the categories you can even color code. If you're that kind of person, you like colors and you want to color code your books so it's easier to find. You can just right click on a category and select a color. Let's go for this one. And you have a nice tab in color here. Right, let's move on to the cool stuff. Did you know that you don't even have to use a keyboard with OneNote? You can simply speak to it like to Alexa, and it will write down everything you say. How do you do it? So over here, you have a dictate button. Now, I should also point out this button will only be visible if you have a Microsoft 365 license. If you have OneNote for personal use, you will not have this button. So it only works if you have a paid Microsoft 365 license. Cool. So you can click this button and start talking to your microphone. You need to have a microphone, obviously, for this to work. You can start talking and it will type out everything you say. Let's give it a go. Test 1 2 1 2. It's asking for access. Yes, okay. Now you see here the record button is visible. And I promise you, I am not typing anything. The computer is doing the typing for me. I guess this would be handy in a, if you're writing a novel, for example, you want to quickly jot down your ideas, whatever's in your head. And you can see that the writing is constricted to the size of the box, so it will always move to the next line if it's hitting the edge of the box. But you can also move to a new line by just saying new line. You can see it's indenting the next one. New line. And you can also say phrases like comma, and it will add a comma. Full stop. And you get the gist. So I guess it's down to you and how creative you want to be. You might be sitting in a meeting and somebody's asking you to take down meeting notes. You say no problem and just turn on the dictate function, and it will just record everything you say. Now, as you can see, it's pretty good. I have an accent and it still understands me just fine. So I'm sure for those of you who have accents, just play around and see how it works for you. Now, if English is not your first language and you want to talk in another language, Dictate has a few languages for you to choose from. So if you wanted to dictate in your own native language, see if it's available and just click it and off you go, and it will type out everything you say in your own language. How cool is that? Now I'll stop the dictate. Now, if you want to know other commands, what else you can say with your voice for it not to type it, but to do it, you can go to this Microsoft link. When it comes up, I'll just copy it. Why can't I copy? I'll just have to highlight. Copy. Paste. Now, I don't expect you to remember this link. You can simply type into Google dictate OneNote, and this is probably the first page you will see. And down here you have a list of phrases you can say out loud that it will print this if you say this. So if you say period or full stop, it will just type a dot. If you say comma, it will just type a comma, and so on. I said new line a few times, and it will indent. It will go to the next line. Cool. Cool. An even better thing, well, it depends on your preference, is you can even record an audio straight into your OneNote. This again, you could use instead of meeting minutes. If there's a board meeting happening, or you know, there's a team meeting or something in a room, and you will need notes for that later, or you want to replay that meeting to later and make notes out of it, that's entirely up to you, but it has that ability. So how do you do it? So you can open a new page, let's say here, and you go to insert and you go to audio, and it starts recording immediately. As you can see here, the time is ticking. So it's currently recording everything I say. So it can record for as long as you need it to record. And at the end, when the meeting's over and it's time to leave the room, you can just hit stop and it will stop playing. And that's your recording. So you can see when I hover my mouse over the recording, you get a small play button here. And if I play it, it will play back what was said in that meeting. Pause. I don't want to listen to this anymore. And that's it. That's your note. That's your voice recording saved in a note. Easy. You can even translate text. So if you like going to Google Translate, this does exactly the same thing. So I found a French poem and I'd like to know what it says in English, and I copied this this extract from a link on a website. And when you do that, OneNote will even tell you. Pretty cool, huh? So how do you translate this? You can simply highlight the whole thing, go to translate, you go to View tab, click on Translate, translate the selection, or you can translate the whole page if the whole thing is in foreign language. Translate. Yeah, okay, got it. And there you go. Or you can click Insert. If you click Insert, it will replace the original text with the English text. Or you can undo and just paste the whole thing here. There it is, the English version. Cool, huh? Okay, you're probably still not impressed up till this point, but the next section is very cool. Here we go. Now, if you have an iPad or you're a very outgoing EA, you do a lot of out of office work, and you have an iPad and you have one of those fancy iPad pens and you prefer to write instead of type, you can use the pen to write notes in here in your handwriting and then convert them into another font, into a computer font. Let's see how that works. So let's imagine I'm doing this on a tablet. And I will go to draw and I will select a pen. Right, you can add a different pen here. Pencil, pen, highlighter. So I want to just write something. Let's write the word EA. How to. Now I'm doing this on a laptop with a trackpad, so excuse me if it's a bit slow, but I'm sure with a pen and with an iPad pen, you'll be a lot faster, and the handwriting won't look like it was done by a 5-year-old. Anyway, I want to now convert this to a computer note into typed out note, type font, not handwritten font. How do I do that? So I will go up here. I will click this select object button. I will highlight this whole thing. Make sure to include everything. Highlight this whole thing. And then this magic button, ink to text. Let's see what happens when I press it. Ta-da! Now you can copy this note, you can paste it, you can format it, you can make it bold. It's basically like a typed out thingy now. If I want to change its font, I can do that. I can change the size back down to 12. There you go. So if you make a lot of handwritten notes and you want them to be, and then you want to email them over in a more readable format, you can do that here. Pretty cool, huh? Now, OneNote isn't just for taking notes. You can pretty much stick anything on a OneNote, and I mean anything. You can insert a YouTube video. You can paste links. You can insert pictures. You can even insert a Spotify list, Spotify playlist, and it will play from within OneNote. Let's see how to do all of these one by one. Right, so if I want to insert a YouTube video, for example, let me find one here. Well, we have one here. This is a great one. If you've not listened to it, I highly recommend. You can go to youtube.com. Let's search for EA how to. Oh, go away. No thanks. EA how to. Ah, here's another one, a Canva tutorial by our very own Alicia Fairclough. I can't say your name. So here's a video. I want to add this to my notes. All I have to do, copy the YouTube link, go back to my OneNote, paste the link. It will think for a bit and then find that it's a YouTube video, and it will insert a video that you can play from within OneNote. Let's say you're a very visual EA. You like pictures like me. And you're doing some hotel bookings and you're looking for some inspiration, or you have a few different options that you want to keep a note of, you can do that. So to insert a picture, you can easily just copy and paste a picture from Google or anywhere else, or without even leaving OneNote, you can insert a picture from the same app. How do you do that? You can even insert a picture of yourself by taking a picture through your webcam. The picture button has a few options for you. You can immediately insert a picture from your webcam camera, or you can even go and grab a picture from an online, from Bing, I believe it is. That's what Microsoft like to use. So let's say the Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't know if I spelled it right, but I like this one. All I had to do is just click on it, and it inserted a picture for me. And I can resize it, make it bigger, make it smaller, move it anywhere in the note. Yeah, easy, right? And then make some notes about it. These are just examples of links that you can also post in here if you just want to keep your notes simple and tidy. Just post a link. And this one I really like. You can import an entire Spotify playlist into your notes. So how did I do that? Go to your Spotify app, find a list you like, click this button here, click on share and copy link to playlist. So you basically copied the link to this playlist. And then here you just paste that link. And again, it found that it's a Spotify list and Spotify has integration with OneNote. And here's your playlist. Easy as that. Now, these other notes, I shouldn't be showing you to them, but I'm going to anyway. Oh, I can't, they are locked. Do you know when you'll need to use this? I don't know, but you might find this feature handy. If someone is snooping around your desk, and these are the kind of confidential notes that no one should be seeing, you can protect them with a password. How do you do that? So let's go back to one of our other slides, right? Other notepads. I can right click this and I can go to password protection, add a password. I will add a password. And by default, this note will stay open until you click this padlock button here. If I click it, it's gone. Nothing's visible. And can only be seen by the person who knows the password. So let's take a look at an example note you might want to make. Let's say Alicia wants to organize an 80s bingo game for the office. What kind of information would she need? So she went and found an online bingo card that she can distribute to her participants. She will need an 80s playlist. She might also want to include the OneNote calendar invite. She wants to know who her helpers are. And for extra credits, she might want to get some inspiration for the dress code for the office party. All of that in a single note. All of these are different formats. And this note is not just constricted to what you're seeing on screen. It's an infinite space. So one note can contain piles and piles and piles of, if I zoom out, see this page is never ending. This is all one note. Excuse the pun. But you can make it as big as you want. And I think that's, oh, one last thing I forgot to mention. Because this is a cloud-based OneNote, you can share this entire folder with someone else. For collaboration, for example, if you are working with a partner on a project or something, and you both want to make notes on the same thing without having to manually send each other, hey, I've added this note, I've added that note. You can just click this button here, share. And it will take you to, it will bring up a form saying, who do you want to send it to? And this is where you type in the other person's email address. And then click send. And you both have access to these notes, and then they can make notes, you can make notes. And the cool thing is each note will then say who edited it or who added it and things like that. You can also search for notes if you are very busy EA, which I'm sure you all are. You might have like hundreds and hundreds of notes here with hundreds and hundreds of pages in, and you might not always remember where those notes are. You can always just search for it. Let's search for office. Here you go. Office bingos game. It will search for all the keywords containing the word office, and then you can pinpoint where it is. And that's pretty much it. I hope I've explained everything. Just having a quick look, is there anything else that needs to be? If you want to know more, on the help section, you got show training. Come on. And here you have a few more tutorials that you can go through. For example, if you wanted to know how to use a OneNote on your mobile device, you can click this link and it will take you to a video tutorial. Or specifically, you wanted to know how to use it on an iPhone or your Android phone, an iPad, etc., etc. just follow these links and it will take you to the right page. Also, whenever OneNote updates, and you were too hasty and click through all the buttons that said, hey, this is what's new, you can always come back here and click on what's new. And it will tell you what else, what cool features have been added to OneNote. Close. You can even change the page color. So if I'm bored of the white paper, I can change it to this color. Or if it's too pale for me and I want to be a bit more fancy, I can change it to blue, but no, that's a very bad look. So I'll go back to no fill white. Yeah, that's cool. This is a very cool feature. So you can insert a PDF into this OneNote as a PDF, not as a clickable file, but it will show you the contents of that PDF in OneNote. I find it very helpful for things like plane tickets and bookings. You can also paste an entire Excel formatting here. So you can open an Excel book, copy the cells from Excel and paste it here, and it will keep the Excel formatting inside the OneNote. Right, I think that's pretty much it. It's not a very complicated tool, but once you get to know it and use it, you will love it. Thank you for watching. Come back for the next one. Thanks.